The biggest mistake that creators make when they take their passion and turn it into a full-time gig is forgetting the #1 rule of personal branding. And that's that people care about who you are, but they don't care about you. Now, I'll tell you what that means in just a minute. First, we need to solve for the problem at hand, which is that creators aren't making money because no one taught them how. There was a huge wave of new content creators that came along because, well, quite frankly, we didn't have much to do. Like, why not dance around the living room and make videos? I don't have to go to work. But then so many people got so good at it and decided to turn it into their full-time thing. At the same time, you had platforms funding the effort, you had brands throwing money around saying, hey, make a video for us and we'll help you pay your bills. And that seemed way better than going back to work. So lots of people decided to do that. Cool. Awesome. Believe me, I approve. Except for the part that we all thought that the platforms and the brands were going to sustain the whole business, but that's too volatile of an approach. And now when you see things changing, the economy, inflation, and you realize that, oh, these guys can pull back their purse strings anytime they want, not just the money, but the algorithm, it's extremely vulnerable. You're only worth the amount of impressions you can get, which is sad. There's a better way. Before I share my money-making process with you, I gotta give you a little bit of context here. The Wall Street Journal published an article about this called "Social Media Influencers Aren't Getting Rich, They're Barely Getting By." They talk about Clint Brantley, who has 400,000 followers and an average of 100,000 views across his content, yet he's still making the median annual paycheck of $58,000. Denisha Carter has 1.8 million followers on TikTok, yet her brand for merchandise only brought in $5,000 in the previous year. And the list goes on. And the reason why this is happening is not just because of the changing market, but again, because you lose track of the #1 rule of personal branding, and that is people care about who you are, but they don't care about you. People don't care what problems you have, but they do care if you're gonna solve their problem. I'm very interested in who you are, if that's the case. People don't really care if you're having a good day. They might ask. They usually don't wanna know the answer, but they do care how you're about to make them have a better day themselves. People care about who you are if you're about to make their day better. People don't care what my babies look like. They don't care. I mean, they're cute. I think they're cute. Look, overall, the consensus is my kids are cute. Like, let's be honest. But people don't care about that. They care about how I'm running a business and a thriving YouTube channel from home with a newborn. Literally, she's sleeping right now like a champ. I actually can't believe she's still sleeping, if I'm being honest right now. But I'm doing it all at the same time. People care about that. So people care about who I am as it pertains to that value. Whether or not the babies are cute, irrelevant. Remembering that people care about who you are, but they don't care about you is a great thing, because then you can zero in on who you do this for, what the value proposition is, and now your revenue streams are dependent on how you offer that value, not on whether or not you are worthy. To the brands who want to pay you if you only get a certain amount of impressions, to the platforms who only want to send you more views if you've been doing pretty good lately. You can forget all of that when you build a sustainable plan based on the fact that you serve a particular audience and you have a way of monetizing them in a way that makes it sustainable for your life. So let's get into my money-making process so we can unpack this further. Before we get into that, if you're interested in this topic, you're going to love what our sponsor has to share with you today, and that's from our friends over at GetResponse. If you've ever thought about taking your knowledge and turning it into a business, GetResponse just made it so much easier for you to create, market, and sell your expertise to an audience. It's all thanks to their new content monetization plan. Here's how it works. Create an immersive learning experience in minutes with AI course structuring, interactive quizzes, certificates, and premium newsletters, all easily managed under one roof. This is your chance to take all the great ideas that you have in your head and leverage AI to make sense of them in a way that your customer will love. You also get built-in tools to promote your content, like sign-up forms, landing pages, pop-ups, even webinars. Everything you need to grow an audience is already there. And if sales isn't really your thing, don't worry about it. When it comes time to sell your content, GetResponse makes it so easy. You can make sales directly through email and landing pages with product boxes, automation workflows, and even a dedicated creator profile to showcase all of your expertise. Plus, they have a straightforward PayPal and Stripe integration that makes buying your content both easy and secure for you and your customers. With GetResponse, you don't need multiple tools or a big budget. You can create, market, and sell your knowledge all with one platform. And it's so easy to manage. Try the tools out for 30 days free and start monetizing your knowledge. Check out the link in the description down below. All right, here we go, my money-making process. This isn't just for creators, this is for everyone who needs a sustainable business. So let's take notes. It's called Spark, Sauna, and Flow. The first step is easy, it's content, right? So we need consistent content. And that might be something you're already doing or something you're thinking about doing. Regardless, it's gonna be the first step in your marketing. This is where the spark happens. This is the spark. This is where ideas are. This is what introduces you to others and lets them know what your value is, what your personal brand is, what you will do to become known that is relevant to someone else. But before we get there, we need to know where they're going. They're gonna get into the sauna with us at some point, but why? Because they need to be warmed up. If they're in a sauna, we're making it hot. The relationship is getting warmed up. So, in order for them to exit the sauna after they've been introduced to your content as a warm lead, we need to know what a warm lead would actually be. Like, what do we want someone to do once they've engaged with our brand? Are they buying a course? Are they buying our merchandise? Are they hiring us as a coach? What is it that a warm lead would look like? They're ready to buy what? Be very, very clear on what it would look like if someone is in this stage. If they walked up to you to go, I know you, I know what you do. So can you help me with X? What is that going to be? Because we have to work them through this process. For me, a warm lead is somebody who needs a coach. DM me on Instagram, the word coach, for more details. Now, before I unpack the warm lead a bit more, I'm gonna tell you how to get through this process, but you do wanna be thinking with the end in mind. We're not just creating content and hoping for the best. That's how we ended up getting screwed over by different companies and platforms. It's because we don't actually know what we're monetizing. We're just taking whatever check we can get. If we're gonna take whatever check we can get, we could just go work for a job, people, okay? Keep the end in mind. If you want freedom, you need to know what you have to offer. So when you're sparking ideas that are relevant to what that offer is going to be. How do we want people to be excited about us and what we do? We spark those ideas. But once they watch the video, once they see the post, once they see that and they need to know what to do next, they need to go and engage with us to figure out if we're gonna get to know each other a bit better. And I call this step into my office. We've got the door to the sauna here. They've seen the video and now they're gonna step into my office. Well, where's your office? I'll give you a hint. It's one of those platforms you're relying on right now. Is your platform Instagram? Is your platform LinkedIn? Is your platform YouTube.com? Step into my office. When somebody goes and clicks on your username, what do they see? Are the lights on? Is anybody home? Is there a full bio? Is there a link? Is there anything? What's happening here? Do I feel like I belong here? Step into my office. If the office walls are there, I know you're legit. All you gotta do is have the account and make it seem purposeful that you want someone to find you so they will figure out what to do next. You're gonna help them figure that out. Now, once they've stepped into your office, you want it to be nice, warm, and toasty because this is the sauna. We're gonna warm it up in here. You're gonna feel welcome. You're gonna like what you see in the bio because it's also gonna tell you what to do. Once you are in the office, you should have a very clear next action step. And that action step is something that would be useful to someone who you're thinking about as your perfect muse of a customer or an audience member. What is something that they would do before they hire you, before they buy your product, before they take that next monetary step? That's what we're doing in the sauna. So once they've stepped into the office and they're like, yes, we like what we see, and they move down a little bit further, we need a step here. This is free, this is easy, this is natural. It is the thing that they would do before the next natural step of working with you. The sauna is kind of like where we qualify. Like, do you feel like sticking around? If you feel like sticking around, then you are likely somebody that's gonna get down here at some point if it's a fit for you. If you don't feel like sticking around, that's okay. All indications here will show you if you should stay, because this is the step before they engage financially. What is something that they can do to show you that they're interested and they are ready to get to know you better? You need to design that specific inquiry step. Okay, so for instance, it could be to join my newsletter. It could be a free newsletter and it might have a free downloadable thing when you first start with it. In my bio, you see that you can DM me. And now I'm going to give you something for free if you DM me, and I'm going to have a conversation with you if you do DM me. This is the step before we go any further. I'm going to qualify you before we go down the line. Now, it's all going to depend on what, again, your final call to action is. If this is a buy my merchandise kind of thing, you probably don't need to have a conversation with every single person who's going to buy your coffee mug. But if you're going to personally coach them, you might want to have a really good conversation with them to make sure they're a fit. So you've made content that is like what someone you would work with is enjoying. They step into your office, they think they might stay a while, they wipe their feet, they think they take a look around, and they see there's a specific way to inquire that doesn't have any skin in the game, but certainly qualifies them to be a part of your community. Join the newsletter, send me a text, it doesn't matter. What is something that they can do to take a specific step to show the types of things that are important to them? That is what makes them a warm lead and can potentially be here. And this is the flow, okay? We flow them out accordingly. They might have taken this inquiry and not been a good fit. They might have taken this inquiry and been the exact right fit. We've got to flow them along accordingly. Whether it is, oh, you're not going to be somebody who's going to make a purchase decision with me. However, you might help me to improve my metrics on social media. You could go over here and watch a YouTube video. You could go over there and like this content and leave a comment on it. There's always a way to engage this audience. There's always a way to activate them in a way that helps to serve you and build your business and build your community. They don't all have to be customers to still get activated in a way that supports your business. But when you have the Spark Sonic Flow mentality, you can now say, all right, I know why I'm going to make consistent content now. It's not so that I hopefully go viral and live off of that high, because the next moment you don't go viral, then you just get discouraged, and your attitude, people don't care about you. You are discouraged and you don't keep at it. But if it's like every time I post a video, somebody steps into my office, that's great. They wouldn't have come into my office if I didn't make the video. I may have only gotten 50 views, but they've probably stepped into my office. And if they're the right community member for me, that's a good thing. I've got that touch point. I gave them something specific to do. Did they do it or did they not do it? They did it. Where did we go from there? Did I flow them through the process? Did I have a conversation with them? Did I ask them to take a next step? Did I see if they want to work with me? Did I see if they saw my product line and make sure they have everything brand new because they love it? What are you doing to send your audience through the flow? So many people, specifically creators, think that all they have to do is build it, they will come, and the money will just flood in. It does sometimes. It's amazing like that, but that is not a business strategy. You've got to build in a process to keep your head in the game so that every piece that you make, whether you're a company or a content creator, you're going to make content. You're going to. Otherwise, you're completely and utterly irrelevant. You're going to make content. Are you posting it to the public, to the world? Not everyone, but there is some content you're going to make that makes people want to step into your office and get to know you. If you don't have all of this stuff ready to go when they arrive, they're going to see your video, step into your office, and leave before the sauna can even get up and running. And I don't want that for you, because then you're in this very superficial space, just a spark of ideas, spark of ideas, spark of ideas, and the platform can put you down at any time. I could get 1,000 views on a YouTube video. I could get 100,000 views on a YouTube video. I still have my process so that no matter what, the right people find me for the right reasons to keep me up and running and the lights literally still on. Leverage the spark that you have, share your ideas, get the content out there, but always remember to keep the end in mind so you know what you're working toward.